Dir. And the main reason I bring this up is because AS2914 NTT is still right there in the middle. But I looked next to us, and also Hurricane is right there, and Sprint is right there. So given the makeup of this panel today, I thought it was an interesting tidbit to throw out. If you guys are interested in checking this out, go to CAIDA's website, caida.org, or just Google IPv6 Internet Topology Map, and it looks like that. There's also a before topology map.
Thank you. Hello, my name is John Brzozowski from Comcast. I wanted to first introduce Comcast, give you guys some background. We're a nationwide broadband cable operator. We provide entertainment and communication services, including voice, video, and data. We serve just over 24 million video subscribers, 5 million and change voice subscribers, and over 14 million data subscribers. A little bit, what I'd like to do is kind of give you a little bit of background about what some of our motivations were, about our approach. Obviously, we're a pretty large service provider, so quite simply, our motivation was our size, to kind of adopt IPv6. Several years ago, we kind of came to the point where the use of our C1918 space, Net 10, was simply not an option for us, and we had to really start investigating different approaches to growing, to making sure that our network can continue to grow, with no issue. So IPv6 ultimately the answer was. So that's our motivation. Our approach essentially is to leverage a dual stack core, and the dual stack nature of the network actually goes all the way to the edge, stopping short of actually the subscribers. So our backbone is fully IPv6 ready. It's dual stack in nature, and our CRANs are following suit. In our network, what we'll have is devices that are off the edge, being essentially operating in single stack mode. This is not inclusive of things like subscribers, PCs, where we're talking about cable modems, for example. So cable modems in our network will essentially be one version of IP or another. So as you can imagine, there are a great many moving parts that we needed to tackle to ensure that we could continue to deliver our service with such a network architecture. Not only kind of migrating and deploying IPv6 throughout the backbone and CRANs, but also at the edge and CPE equipment, excluding the customers' PCs. There's a great deal of work that had to happen. For those of you who follow cable, over the past 3 years, we have taken great effort to ensure that we specify V6 as part of the cable technology DOCSIS 3.0. We also note that there are guidelines available for implementing IPv6 in DOCSIS 2.0 silicon. So all the ingredients are there for us to do the things that we need to do and support IPv6 and really lay the groundwork for things to come. Right. So the other thing that's important for me to share with you all is the initial deployment of IPv6 at Comcast is really from a management point of view. Right. So everything I've described to you really hasn't talked about any of your computers at home actually using IPv6 to get to the internet. It's the 14 million cable modems that are out there being able to manage those devices. I mean that's just a gigantic number to begin with. The voice devices that we have in the network, the 5 million of those, the modems that are part of that, being able to manage those over IPv6, and of course the video infrastructure is also part of this. As part of this this effort. Again, all this laying groundwork for things to come, right? And like I mentioned, there are a number of challenges. Not here to kind of, to scare anybody, but I think we would all agree, especially as we discussed this morning, it's important for folks to know what some of those are, so that you're fully aware and you can prepare. We all kind of agreed that preparation was key. So with that, I'll kind of, I'll pass it over to Fred. Thanks.
My name is Fred Rogers. I'm a manager of Next Generation IP at Sprint, and my job is to act as kind of a program office, and our team is kind of a technical lead as well for basically preparing Sprint and converting Sprint to IPv6 services. My team is fairly new. A lot of the focus is from where we're at going forward, in that we have the wireline side and the wireless side, and the wireline side actually has been doing IPv6 for quite some time. Sprint has been involved with IPv6 since 1997. We actually implemented the 6-bone as a test infrastructure and had customers on that all the way up through retirement in 2006. And at that time, then we started offering commercial tunnel services over our SprintLink backbone. We also have even different aspects of the wireline network. There is the peerless IP network, which has been built for government services or any other industry that wants no connectivity to the internet whatsoever. It is a private parallel infrastructure that has no internet reachability, so that we can give that additional layer of separation and security for those entities that need that. That network is dual stack ready and is either offering commercial services now or ready to any minute. Our product launch is supposed to be end of second Q 08, so that is fully ready dual stack wide. The SprintLink infrastructure offers IPv6 services in a tunnel overlay at this point, although the target state for that and our GMPLS or MPLS services network is scheduled for dual stack as the target state solution for that. So we are in line with where the other carriers either already are or are on their way of heading. On the wireless side, dual stack is also the target state for that infrastructure as well. And that puts us into that mode of both core infrastructure, meaning we have to prepare our infrastructures for that tier 1 layer service, as well as the ISP side, similar to Comcast, because we have those wireless customers that attach directly to us and provide those services for. One of the things that, if you have information or requests for our SprintLink services, and there are white papers about what we provide for IPv6 services over there, we do have a website that is at www.sprintv6.net. Check some of this. I think a lot of the other discussions here that I had some notes on, I think we'll get to in our general discussion based on the way things were this morning, so I think I'll go ahead and pass off and we'll just get into the discussion.
Thanks for the introductions. So I'll start with one question, and then we can kind of open it up for questions for y'all, and just kind of generally throw it out to the panel. As one of the themes we talked about this morning is sort of the preparation and planning, and what are the areas that may have caused you guys problems as you rolled out V6, or what were the areas you focused on when you were rolling out your V6 to ensure that there wasn't problems? So I ask for anybody to kind of jump in and share some of the planning preparation what you did.
So I can tell you that it's certainly not something that you're going to find can be done overnight. And perhaps I'm stating the obvious, but on occasion I've had to remind folks of that. And honestly, some of the things that folks really need to account for, and this is going to depend from business to business, right? Everybody's, we probably have several different points of view as far as V6 deployments are concerned in this room alone, right? I mean, each one of us probably have a different twist on it to begin with. But the reality situation is you need to look at it from a holistic point of view. If you need to deliver a service and V6 is somewhere in between, you need to make sure that you account for all of the details in between that are going to have an effect on your deployment of V6. For us, it was everything from the configurations and the core technology were really pretty straightforward, right? I mean, a lot of the backbone and core network technologies, they're pretty mature, right? We didn't really have a lot of shortcomings there. But from an access network point of view, there's a lot of development, a lot of interaction we had to do with the vendor community, tools, operational exposure. There's a lot of more softer aspects of the V6 deployment that are not just configuration lines for a router that folks really do need to account for. And